What's up? Welcome back to another video. So yesterday we changed the distributor cap and the rotor and the plug wires and put a little upgrade on it. Today, I don't know if you can see this hood is in pretty rough shape. The clear coat has come off and now the actual paint is coming off and it's starting to rust and get some pits in it. So I'm gonna pull I'm gonna take the hood off and I'm gonna plastic dip it. Just regular flat black, regular plastic dip. I got 3 cans of it. It should be enough to put an actual smooth finish on that hood. I'm not trying to pass it off as a carbon fiber hood or anything like that. Might be in store for this car one day, but not right now. I just pretty much just want to cover up the rust and protect it a little bit for now. We're also going to put this seat in on the driver's side. This was the passenger seat that was in this car back when it was a daily driver. So it is a passenger side seat, and with the NRG seats, they are side specific. This particular set is anyway. The reclining mechanism is on the right side, like it would be on the passenger side of a left-hand drive car, and you cannot swap it over to the driver's side. But I do have a driver's side bracket on it, and this is going to be, it's just temporary. It's a seat I had laying around, and I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna put the we're gonna put the seatbelt buckle on the right side next to this lever, and I'm gonna run it as a driver's seat until I can get another set of seats, because this one, the passenger seat is actually in great shape, but the driver's seat is pretty beat up and tore up, and it just feels like it sits really high. That one should sit a little lower, or at least feel like it's a little lower. Hey, it's hot in there, buddy. It's a little hot in there. All right, check it out, and then we'll get you out of there in just a second. But I am gonna put that seat in the driver's seat, just because I'm tired of feeling like my knees are hitting the dash every time I try to shift. That's not a problem I had before in my old Integra. But anyway, so I'm gonna get the hood off and set it over here on the ground. We'll put a couple coats on it while we're working on this seat. Hey. Alright, so you take the seat out. There's 4 12mm bolts in it. That's all, really. You might have a wire for your seatbelt sensor in there. I'm pretty sure mine's unplugged. Anyway, I already took the front 2 out. Slide the seat forward so you can get to the back 2. Sometimes there's a little cover that covers up the bolt heads. You just use a flat head and pop that off and then take them out. Alright, so we got all the bolts out. I'm just letting the seat sit there still because my son's playing in it. There's 2 coats. 2 coats of plastic dip on the hood, and once you get into your 3rd and 4th coat, all that stripiness starts to come out of it. So you start getting rid of that once you go deeper. And I'll show you a better way of eliminating that, because anything you do with a spray can, you're gonna have some stripiness to it. But with plastic dip, it's a little bit easy. a little bit easier to get rid of it if you just add more material. And instead of following the same pattern, you know, up and down the hood, just kind of spray it around and it'll mix together a little bit better, as long as you do it without getting runs. All right, so this is after 3 coats and the stripiness is already starting to fade, starting to go away. So we still got a 1.5 cans left, so we should be able to make that look very smooth. Just the more coats you add, the better it looks. The driver's seat is out, and it is very dirty in here. What we have to do now is I'm gonna get the vacuum cleaner and clean all that mess out. I'm gonna get the vacuum and clean the floorboards out, and we should we'll start swapping seatbelt bracket over, and then we'll be able to put this seat in the seat's place. But first, I'll just do a little side-by-side comparison and see if this one actually does sit lower like I think it does, or if they're about the same. I don't know. We'll see. So they look about the same, but that one is about the NRG seat's about 1/2 inch lower than the other one, just because of the shape of the bolstering. So it should be a pretty good fix for our problem. All right, so this is after the 4th coat. Most of the striping has disappeared. There's still some areas of it, but once this coat dries, we'll just kind of go over the top. We have 1 whole can left. We'll kind of go over the top and we'll just kind of dust it and break up some of these heavy stripes. We'll kind of break it up going across in a different direction, and that'll eliminate some of the striping. And you also want to make sure with plastic that you put, you want it pretty thick. You want a lot of layers so that when you get ready to peel it off, it'll actually peel. If you go too thin, you'll have a hard time peeling it back off. And this isn't meant to look perfect. It's not meant to be a show car. It's just there to actually protect what's there until we can actually do the paint job on the whole car, because the whole car does need paint. The clear coat's pretty bad and a lot of the paint is coming up, but we're not going to do that anytime soon. So I just want to protect what's here, and I might not even, who knows, I might not even keep this hood. I might get a carbon fiber hood one day. It's just not in the plans for this car yet. All right, so I got 5 coats on the hood. It's starting to smooth out. Just waiting on it to dry a little more, and got the seat in. It sits maybe just a tad bit lower than the stock seat, but it's not a whole lot of difference, but you can feel it. But what I do recommend is when it comes to seat rails, buy a planted rail. I bought a Sparco rail thinking that it would be, great quality and it would fit great. Nah, I can only fit 3 of the 4 bolts in it. It does not fit the car very well, and I don't know if that's just me. He's like, just a problem with mine, the one that I got, or if it's the problem with the product. I don't know, but I've ran into that before, and I thought that for sure Sparco rail would, fit perfectly. but no, it doesn't. It actually was very frustrating to fit onto the seat or fit onto the car at all. And I had much better luck with planted rails or even PLM rails like the one I put in that car. It fit the bolts. It fit the bolt holes in the car way better than this one does. And there's no adjustment, like you can't adjust the seat side to side. It's just a straight hole. So there's a lot of it was a pain in the ass. It was a real pain to try to get even 3 bolts to line up. I don't know, it seems like, you know, you spend a lot of money for a name brand part thinking that it's gonna fit. Like, you know, Sparco is like, it's in all the movies, it's always talked about, it's supposed to be the best of the best, and it doesn't fit the car, that it doesn't fit the vehicle that it's made for. So yeah, that was not just a disappointment, but a bit of a pain. Alright, there it is. The hood's done. It doesn't look the best right now, but let it sit for a day or two. Like, once you get close, it actually looks, you know, way better than it does from a distance. But let it sit for a day or two and it'll start to look better. It'll start to look more uniform. It just, whenever they're wet, they just don't look that, you know, like they're still curing. It just doesn't look as good as it could. But I don't know, it looks better than the, well, honestly it looks about the same as the faded hood, but the black gives it a sportier look. So we'll let that sit. We got the seat in. Like I said, the Sparco seat bracket was a pain, but I do feel more comfortable in there. I feel like I have a better driving position. But anyway, that's all for today. So let me know if you hate the plastic dip, because I'm not a huge fan of it anymore. But I used to dip cars all the time, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of it anymore. But whatever you can do on a budget to make something look better than it did before, or at least protect what's underneath it, you know, that's really what us all, even, you know, dipping the hood was even about, was just protecting what's there, you know, stopping it from rusting. But anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know, did I ruin the car? Oh well, you know, it's removable, but whatever. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Hopefully the next one will be about a roll cage in this car. So I think I've like closed this video out like 2 or 3 times by now, but anyway, so we plastic dipped the hood and we let it sit overnight. Raven. Anyway, we let it sit overnight, and it still had some mismatched texture to it, especially in the center, and a little bit of striping. And one way with plastic dip that I found to like kind of even that out, you can't even it out totally. I don't know, with plastic dip you just get mixed results with the out of the spray cans anyway. Like, I used to use the PDF dip sprayer. I've done whole cars with it with really good results. But this, all I had was spray cans. I don't know where. That was several years ago when I had the whole spray system. But anyway, the one way to even out the texture is to add water and just kind of wipe it down with a rag. and it evens the texture out. So once it dries, it'll look a lot more even than it did before. What are you in? But once it dries, it'll look a lot more even than it did before. Like you can see some of these spots, it's smooth and then it's rough next to it. And that's just inconsistencies that you get from spraying out of a spray can. But if you rub like that with your hand or with a rag, once you wet it, once it dries, it'll look more even than it was before. All in all, I don't think it turned out too bad. But if I end up not liking it, I can just peel it off, and then we might like Raptor line the hood or something. Like I said, we only did this to stop the rust from spreading because the paint was in pretty rough shape, and the hood and the roof and the passenger side, like this passenger side right on the body line, these are the worst spots for these paint on any of these cars, and we're nowhere near doing a full paint job on this car. So I just wanted to protect the hood and make it look as nice as possible for now, so I can get back to focused on that. Hopefully we can start putting a roll cage in there soon. But yeah, anyway, if you like this video or you want to see more, just subscribe to the channel. There'll be more coming to it, and there's possibly something pretty large that a friend of mine's going to give me that might eventually go in this car. What do you think, buddy? What do you think? But yeah, there's a possibility for this car to end up being way more built than I thought it was going to be. But that all depends on getting the transmission back in that and getting that up and going, so I have a reliable daily while this goes under the knife. But anyway, leave a comment, let me know what you think, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.